Hi, boys and girls. Miss Lahosky here. I am going to be doing a series of short YouTube videos for you guys just to kind of review everything that we've learned about fractions so far. I was looking back at all the fraction lessons that we've done when we were still in school and the ones that we're doing now in the remote learning environment. So I'm just going to kind of kick it back to like the end of February when we first started doing fractions. So again, this is going to be like a short video. I'm going to have a few of these to kind of tackle all the different topics that we've talked about so far for fractions. This is kind of a review. If you are having a little bit of difficulty, I would suggest, watching the whole series. This is part one. I'm kicking it back to the actual definition of what a fraction is. So you can see here I wrote a fraction is any part of a group, a number, or a whole. So for instance, I'm going to tell you what it means to be fraction of a group. Let's say class 419 has 31 students and 16 of those 31 students are boys. So that would be a fraction of a group. So you would represent the boys as being 16 over 31. Representing a fraction of a whole, that would be something like I need to use a half a cup of sugar for my brownies recipe, right? Because 1/2, we all know, is less than 1, right? So some of the other important, very introductory sort of words that we use for fractions are the numerator and the denominator. Now, the numerator is the number of parts of the whole. So for example, here's my fraction right here. It's one, I say this as 1/3 or 1 out of 3. My numerator is the 1, okay? Now, the denominator is the number of parts the whole is divided into. So here, if my fraction is 1/4, I know that my whole is divided into 4 equal pieces. Remember, for it to be a fraction, the pieces have to be equal. Okay. These definitions I gathered from a wonderful website that I've been using for 8 years, ever since I've been a teacher. I suggest you guys use it too, because it actually really is for kids. It's kind of like a dictionary, but it's interactive. So you can click on things. It gives you examples. It gives you practice problems. It's an amazing site. And this is it right here. It's called, and I would, pause the video if you want. It's called a maths dictionary for kids.com. It is absolutely amazing. It's very kid friendly. All the math words are there, just like a regular dictionary. They are, divided by the letter of the alphabet that they start with. So it's very, very friendly for kids to use. So I would suggest you guys use that, even when you get to 5th grade in middle school and, so on and so forth. So I'm going to show you a couple different ways we can write out a fraction, or at least draw it, is what I mean, by doing like a model. My motto is when in doubt, draw it out. And I'm going to show you guys exactly how I could draw something like, let's just say 1/4. So, we can draw a circle. We can draw a rectangle. Doesn't matter, right? I'm just showing you 2 different ways you could draw it. So if I wanted to cut this into 4, I see sometimes, kids doing this. And this is not right because look, this piece is not the same as this one, right? In order for it to be drawn out correctly, your pieces need to be the same size. So think of this kind of like as a pizza. When you get a pizza, with your family on a Friday night, maybe you have some family tradition that you like to do, order a pizza on a certain day. You know that the pizza cutter guy would do it like this, the guy who works at the pizzeria, right? And that would get me 4 equal pieces. That is my denominator, the number of parts the whole is divided into. Now, the top is the numerator, and that indicates that that's the number of parts of the whole. So if I want to show 1/4 on this model, I would shade 1 of the 4 pieces. This is basically saying 1 out of 4. That's how I would do it with a circle. This is how I would do it. There's a few ways you can do it with a rectangle. I am going to first cut it in half and then cut my halves in half, and that will kind of get me 4 equal pieces. If I am going to be symbolizing 1/4, I cut my whole into 4 and I can shade 1 of them. It doesn't matter which one. I could shade this one. It doesn't matter which one you shade, honestly. Okay, so this is just very, very beginning intro to how to draw fractions. Let's do another example. Let's do 2/8. 2/8. I'm going to show you using a circle model, and I will show you using a rectangle model. I'm going to cut this into eighths. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, how many of those slices of pizza do I shade? Well, my numerator is saying that 2 is the part of the whole that I need to shade. So that's 2/8. Now for here, I can do 1, 2, 3, 4. Check this out. I'm going to cut that in half and I'm going to get 8 equal pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need to shade 2 of them because my fraction is 2/8. So here we go. 1, 2. And that is how I can model 2/8 using a circle and a rectangle. All right, stay tuned for series 2.